Hello, welcome to Eat, Cook, Learn, part 2 of Moroccan Tagine. So the last class you saw how we prepared the lamb and got it all ready. Next thing we're going to do is make our vegetable base for our lamb. So again, we're going to have root vegetables. So things don't have to be cut up really tiny. You can have chunks, a bit like the lamb. It was quite chunky. However, celery, root vegetables need to be cut up, and these take a long time to cook. So our celery, let's just say we'll cook it into just a nice dice like so. Our carrot. Now remember those classes that I've taught you before that we had this onion, carrot, celery mixture kept in your fridge. This is the brilliant time to have that sort of available at your fingertips, which means instead of coming home to start your tagine, cutting up raw vegetables, you could have just put a big slurp of that onion, carrot, celery mixture in the pan and start cooking. But anyway, we're doing it all a la carte today. So we're going to have our carrot. Okay. Again, same thing with carrot. Doesn't have to be a fine dice. It can be really nice, just like basically like so. Just some nice chunks of carrot. But you'll get to see the final product. We're going to cut these just a little bit bigger, like so. And then our onion. Okay. And the skin off. Okay. So here we have our celery, onion and carrot. We're going to mix this with a little bit of our beautiful Moroccan spice we just made earlier. Okay. We don't need salt because it's already got salt in it. We're going to have a nice hot pan and we're going to seal off these vegetables. I'll just bring to the camera. So basically when we cook anything with spices, we want to really cook out the spices on the food. So we're doing that in a hot pan or in a tray in the oven. So we'll just give those a beautiful coating of olive oil, spices and the vegetables to give them a bit of colour and cook those spices out. Now some other flavours with our tagine or things we can do. We can also use things like pumpkin, sweet potato and cauliflower. So for today's recipe, we're going to use some capsicum in there as well. But with lamb, I'm going to keep this one quite simple. I pretty much want a lamb tagine with just simple vegetables. I don't want to overcomplicate it with pumpkin and cauliflower. But I'm just giving you the heads up there that those other vegetables lend themselves quite nicely to the tagine. We'll put some capsicum in there. And I think it's nice to have a little bit of sweet potato. So it's really putting things that complement each other. Lamb and pumpkin, I don't really like that. But you may, so that's up to you. If you're making a vegetable tagine, of course, you would have, like we've chopped the lamb, you would have all the vegetables prepared. With this, like pumpkin for a tagine, when we cut up the lamb, you would actually have beautiful bits of pumpkin coated in the Moroccan spices, baked, and then they would go in the tagine and cook up like we're doing. All right, but again, you've got to come to one of my classes to learn all this. Sweet potato. Our lamb was about for 8 serves. So again, these, we're just going to have sort of 8 just nice big chunks. And they will go in the tagine just as they are. Okay. So in our earthenware Moroccan dish, we have our vegetables now that we've slowly cooked. We have some chickpeas. Chickpeas are really yummy. We have a little drizzle of honey. Not too much honey. Some lovely fresh saffron. So just like a generous sort of half a teaspoon of saffron. It's very expensive. We've got our vegetables. We're going to have our lovely potato, sweet potato. And we have our lamb that we cooked earlier. You can see these beautiful bits of chunks of lamb. So again, got to watch part 1 for part 2. But our lamb was actually cut, seared, put into the oven and roasted. And this is going to cook up with all these beautiful vegetables. Like so. And we don't want to waste any of these beautiful sort of crispy, you could say burnt, crusty bits, but they're yummy. Okay, so all those go in there as well. That's all our flavour. Okay, and then we're going to have some fresh dates. Dates are a beautiful thing in tagine, give a nice sweetness like the honey. Okay. So you could, I'll keep going with this, crushed tomato and some chicken stock or beef stock or vegetable stock. This is probably going to make a bit of a mess in my oven. So if you didn't have a tagine dish, you could actually use a baking tray. But hence, here we have, so our vegetables go in the bottom, our lamb that was cooked separately. So that lamb, as you know, takes about an hour and a half to cook. That's been put on top. It was then roasted for about half an hour. Then this whole thing now takes about another hour and a half in the oven. So the lid goes on. And this tagine vessel here is your classic steams, bakes beautifully. The whole thing gets slid into the oven. And we're going to put that on about 160 degrees for about another hour, and we'll take it out and see what it looks like. But I won't just finish yet. I'll keep going on about our couscous. So again, this whole vessel goes into the oven. And we'll set a timer for that. So it is blah, blah, blah. And let's get on to our couscous. So with our tagine, we need to serve it with something. And what I love to make is something called Israeli couscous or pearl couscous. So they're nice granules, quite large, beautiful in a salad as well. Otherwise we have fine couscous. A lot of you may use that one regularly. This one is a larger style. So we're going to talk about these. With the couscous, we have currants, or a nice additive. Some beautiful fresh saffron. This is another product that I actually use. It's a powdered saffron, imitation, but not as sort of nasty and brassy as that sort of Coles brand. We shouldn't say any brands. Anyway, it's just a powder form of saffron, and when you add this to water or stock, you'll see it goes a beautiful yellow colour. Okay, so again, it just enhances the couscous when we cook it. All right, so again, just a bit that. What happens with this? It just goes a beautiful yellow colour. It could be the stock or water, but for our couscous, we've got to cook it in something. So a bit like rice, couscous cooks in liquid. So stock, water. So we've got Israeli couscous, normal couscous, currants, saffron, some powdered saffron just to give the colour. I mean, pure saffron is beautiful, placed in warm water, and the colour will come out. but it won't go a really nice, it won't go yellow. It'll be just a tinge, which is a lot of high-end restaurants would be ghastly to see bright yellow. But I think for home use, yeah, you want to be able to have a nice bit of yellow couscous with the tagine. Okay, so that's our stock. Chicken stock's good, put that in there. Now, when you're making couscous, you know, over the years I've had different chefs go, oh my God, it's so stressful, it's so hard to make. It's not actually very hard to make at all. To make couscous, the secret really is to put the liquid in the pot. So whatever liquid you've got, put the liquid in the pot. Make sure the liquid tastes nice. So this just tastes very bland. So we're going to add some salt to it. Okay, and we'll add some chili flakes to it. A few little chili flakes. Okay, because when you cook at home, you'll be cooking couscous for 2 people for dinner. So 2 people, a cup of water in a pot, flavour it up, make sure it tastes nice. Put on the stove, bring it to the boil, add your couscous, give it a strain, some currants in there, turn it off. If it's Israeli couscous, again, boil the liquid, you have to have more liquid in this one. So again, when you come to my cooking class, I will teach you all the ins and outs and don'ts. But, you know, live camera, we'll do it right in front of you today. So I'm going to make these, the pearl couscous. So again, liquid that goes onto the stove. And we bring our liquid to the boil. The reason I add a little bit of oil in there, that just helps soften, or helps put a coat, a bit like cooking pasta in water. I just like to put a little bit of oil in there, okay? So hence the liquid tastes nice, a little bit more salt, a little pepper, okay? So this couscous can also be made ahead of time. So this Israeli couscous particularly, all the normal couscous, even though it can be served hot, it's also beautiful to have as a salad. So to do that, you'll do exactly what I'm doing. When it's cooked, you take it out on a flat tray and let it cool down immediately. The other option is you serve it immediately to your guests on the table. But if you're having a dinner party, you may decide to make the couscous ahead of time. If you want to heat it up or make it the day before, it means you microwave it is the best way to heat it up to serve with your tagine. Okay, so couscous. We just let our stock boil. And we put a few little currants in there. I love currants in there. It just gives a nice little bit of flavour, fruit flavour. The tagine we made earlier too, you could use apricots as well as dates. Again, being lamb, I prefer chicken and apricot. I prefer lamb and dates. It's just a personal thing. And the other thing, like I was mentioning about vegetables, yeah, it's your choice, but you really want to learn the basis of the dish and then you can go and create your own. Okay. So with our couscous, we've got our liquid on. It's getting hot. And then we pour in our couscous. Just a little bit more. Okay. Away. So couscous is like pasta, it absorbs the liquid. So if you don't have enough liquid in the pot, the couscous will absorb all that and sit there and do nothing. You have to add more liquid. After experience, a few different experiences, you'll be a natural at it. But when you're learning, just put the couscous and water together, like so. Okay, and you keep boiling it. I know the secrets of the trade, that's why I know what I'm doing. But like I said, I'll teach you. And we just keep stirring the couscous. Okay, so we'll just put that on a low simmer. So that pearl couscous should take a good sort of 5 to 10 minutes to cook. All right, so while we're on to, or while our tagine's in the oven, what we also need, and we're waiting for the couscous, I'm just going to talk to you about a salad that's really nice to go with tagine. What I like to do is have some beautiful cos lettuces, and I really want the heart. So use the outer leaves for other dishes, but we really want those little crunchy. So you don't discard the other leaves at all. We use those for another dish. But for this particular salad, we really want that really young, inner, nice, beautiful, crunchy leaves. Okay? These outside leaves are perfect. Nothing wrong with them at all. But again, this particular dish, I love to have the really crunchy leaves. And these other leaves are going to be perfect in a salad, all right? So don't discard them, they're perfect. Put them aside. We want some young leaves. Then we're going to have green beans. So some of my other classes, you know the drill. You get a green bean, you cut the end off, not both ends, nothing wrong with this end. Drop them in a boiling salted water, take them out of the water, put them in a bowl, ready to go. So we've got our lettuce, we've got our beans, we have some wonderful cherry tomatoes, we have a red onion, just keep an eye on this couscous, that's still happy cooking away, just on nice and low. Okay, red onion, we'll just do some slices of that. There. Okay, so red onion, our tomatoes, and we're going to have some fresh dill. Dill is a really beneficial herb in this salad. Okay, just rustic. Now some of you may have saw me, oh, he cut that with a knife. Remember how I've told you? Never cut the herbs with a knife. Well, on this occasion, I did. So, I just got the knife 1, 2, 3. I didn't chop it like parsley, I just put a couple of cuts through it. So that's acceptable, okay? But with mint, this little guy here, never chop it with a knife, just pick it with your fingers. Some of you that do a bit of this sort of Lebanese, Moroccan cooking, there's a word called fattoush salad, okay? So that's what we're going to call it. But basically, it's just a beautiful summer salad, and it's really nice with tagine, okay? Well, I think it is anyway. So again, mint leaves. You all know how to store your herbs now in other classes. I've mentioned to you how you use Chuck Super Wipe and keep your herbs in the fridge. Another nice addition is parsley. And again, parsley, it's, as you know, for other dishes, you run the knife through it a million times and finally chop it. For this sort of cuisine, we just have raw parsley leaves, not the stems, they're woody. And basically, believe it or not, this just gives it another good punch, okay? Parsley leaves make a really nice salad. They're very chewy, like rabbit food, and some people may go like, oh God, what was that salad I was eating? But the fragrance of the herbs, the freshness, and the taste is what we're after with that full-on lamb fatty tagine. Okay, so there we go. We have our parsley. Okay, so tomatoes, really crunchy cos leaves, a bit like a Caesar salad, beans, onion, mint, dill, parsley, and I even like some fennel. Again, these things, don't throw them away, they're used for something else. That's another class. Fennel, cut the fennel in half. and then just nice thinly slices. Down so. Cut the core out. Okay, nice thin slices. Like so. Okay, just back to looking at our couscous. Okay, you can see the couscous. It's getting really hot now. A bit like making a boria rice. You can see how it's still white, very white, and very raw and grainy. Okay, so it's still not ready. It's got to be cooked slowly for a bit longer. Okay, eyesight is the key. Keep that on there. Fennel. Okay, and one of my favourite foods of all is the pomegranate. So that guy we cut in half. And we get a spoon and we hit it like so, and voila, all the beautiful pomegranate seeds come out. Give it a little bit of a twist just to get those remaining guys in there. Okay, and all the little seeds should come out. All these can be done ahead of time. So the good thing about cooking is it's all the preparation. That's how I teach, and that's what I tell you all and drum it into you at a class. But again, you know, all these things are actually completed and then put together at the last minute as the guests arrive. Okay, because everything does not have dressing on it. Okay, so everything's just beautifully chopped, ready to go. And if you are having a dinner party, I suggest all these things are all done in containers in your fridge. Then we're going to make our salad. So to make our salad, we have our beans, our fennel, our onion, okay, our beautiful leaves. You can chop these up, but I like them just left whole. And mix them apart a little bit. If they're too big, just like little ears, just break them in twos. Okay. So these are the guys you want. And salad should be served cold. Okay, so then we have our lovely herbs. Okay. So that is step one. Cucumber is another nice addition to this salad. Cucumber is a beautiful thing. All right. So with our couscous, you can see it's basically, again, I keep saying risotto, but we've actually cooked it down. It's absorbed nearly all that liquid. The grains are nice. They're just nearly cooked through. It's nice and wet still, which is good. We're just going to let that sit on the bench. It'll suck up all the rest of that juice. Make sure it tastes nice. And then that will be served with our tagine in part 3 of the cooking class. So thank you for joining in. Stay tuned for part 3, where we will finish off the salad, assemble the tagine with the couscous, and make some other little tasty treats to make it pop. Thank you, and look forward to having a chat soon. Bye. Hello everybody, welcome back to Eat, Cook, Learn, Love Food. Now, as you've been watching, we've done the Moroccan extravaganza, the tagine. So we've basically got the tagine in the oven. You saw that go in. We've made a beautiful salad. I went through that with you before. So we've got cherry tomato, really crisscross lettuce leaves, dill, mint, fennel, green beans, all can be made ahead of time like so. Put in your fridge. Bring this out when your guests arrive. We also need a dressing for our salad. So what I'm not going to give you the recipe unless you come to my class. So it is white vinegar, garlic, raw, mustard, lemon juice, salt, sugar, and lemon juice. So it's a beautiful dressing, very, very tart and bite. Raw garlic's the secret. It'll blow everyone's mind. We also, for our salad, love sumac. Sumac is a little dry Moroccan berry that's ground dried. You buy it from pretty much good delis. Lovely with tomatoes, lovely in this salad. For a salad this size, it's about a tablespoon. But we're going to also add this sumac to our yogurt, hence like so, and a little bit of pomegranate molasses. Okay, just a tablespoon. This guy here, again, is a beautiful dish itself. Great with chicken, Moroccan chicken, lamb kofta. Beautiful with our lamb tagine as a compliment. And we also have some pomegranate seeds and some beautiful fresh picked parsley. Okay. Actually, one thing I didn't add too was our lovely salad, otherwise known as a fattoush salad. We have beautiful bread. This is pita bread that's been baked just by putting olive oil on it. And then we just break it up into pieces. And this is folded through the salad at the last minute to give it a beautiful crunch. So our fattoush salad, they crisp up really nice. Okay. And the next thing is to get the tagine out of the oven. And here is our Moroccan tagine. The dish did fit in our oven. We take it to the table, serve it on a board so it doesn't burn the table. Take the lid off, and voila, a little bit of sprinkle of parsley on top, and spoon. And here we have our beautiful lamb, date and honey tagine with the couscous we made earlier, the Israeli couscous, pearl couscous, our salad. This will go through. Enjoy, everybody. It's a big feast. One other I didn't talk about was harissa. Harissa is a Moroccan sort of relish that's really nice to have. You can get a recipe for that, but I will be making that with you, and if you do my class, we will make that as well. So enjoy your cooking and reach out with any questions. Eat, cook, learn, love food @gmail.com. Thank you. Enjoy your cooking.